about to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for.
Just checked in. Let's do the concierge. This hotel's really beautiful. It's really nice, easy check-in they've got going there. And I'm time for lunch, so this is the part I was most nervous about. Random talking to people.
What we're going to do this afternoon is we have some great speakers for you. We've got some coaches breakouts, and we're going to get you all motivated, ready to go, so you know all the ins and outs, everything that you need to know to succeed to 29,029 feet.
You've signed up for this, you've trained for this, you are ready, but this is a personal challenge. This is a challenge to see how strong you are, how capable you are, how strong you are in your mind, and more importantly, who you are going to be on the other side of this weekend. We all came here to see who we are, what we're made of, and more importantly, who we can become when we get to the top of this mountain, to the top of this Everest here at Whistler.
You come in as an old you go through a variety of steps, a lot of steps, for 36 hours, right? And you kick out as a new you. But in that process, you guys went through some fear, some anxiety, some uncertainty in these months, weeks, hours, minutes leading up to the event.
Because I think grit is the number one thing you could bring on the mountain tomorrow, for sure. Maybe a lot of you might even know that you're gritty. You're gonna find out tomorrow, you're gonna surprise yourself at how gritty you are.
Hello, I am in Whistler. Hiking the vertical elevation gain of Mount Everest, and I have 36 hours to do so. And if you're like, what? I get it. I'm like, what? And I'm doing this tomorrow. So I drove up from Seattle earlier today and never been to Canada, first of all. So that's one thing that feels epic and awesome. I'm very excited to be here. And also never done a land border crossing before. That is not true. I have done one by train in Europe. I have not done one by car ever. And certainly not to Canada from US or the opposite. So all that's very new. And I'm very excited to be doing this. It was fun to go through customs. It was just like a new thing, right? It took literally 1 minute because now they have everything streamlined with an app called ArriveCan where you fill out all your paperwork and stuff in advance and you scan your passport and everything's like they just scan your passport again at the drive-through like booth and basically everything's already on file if you've followed the directions accurately. So that was great. And then the drive in Canada from the Canadian border, you know, directly above Seattle, it's like, I don't know, maybe like an hour and a half. And then the next couple of hours of driving from the border crossing to Whistler was just beautiful. Beautiful mountain roads, you know, big highway, but carved through the mountains and on the coast too. So I got really beautiful views the whole way, and coming up to Whistler and seeing it reminds me of ski towns I'm used to, particularly like Park City area in many aspects, but it's different because it's completely, you know, obviously it's a different place, but kind of fun to see that whole vibe and pulling up to the Fairmount and everything. And it's just been like a really busy day. So I'm just gonna give you a quick breakdown because I am tired and I have a really big day tomorrow, but I do want to document this to keep for posterity, but also to share with you. So essentially, I signed up for this event, I don't know, 9, 10 months, whenever they dropped. feels like it was 9-10 months ago, but I honestly can't remember when exactly sign up was. But I signed up for it right away, and I knew I wanted to do it because I found out about it through other YouTubers I follow. I don't know them personally, I just watch their content, and they are Kara and Nate, and they do travel adventures, and I love their channel. I think what they do is great. And they did this challenge in Vermont last year and filmed it, and as soon as I saw it, I got on the email list for the company that runs these, so I could sign up when they announced the 2022 events, which obviously I then did. So basically the premise is you climb the vertical gain, elevation gain of Mount Everest, which is 29,029 feet. But you do so not on Mount Everest, which, if you're not familiar, is the tallest mountain in the world and extremely difficult to climb, generally, for pretty much everybody, even very well-trained people. But you do this on a mountain that's not that tall, obviously, less of a travel distance, a lot less altitude training, because you're going on a mountain that's significantly shorter, but you are going up and down that mountain as many times as it takes to get to that elevation gain. But the part of it that really drew me in is that you don't hike down. You take the gondola down. And down is always the hardest on my body of any hiking thing I do. Up is hard, tough cardiovascularly. Down, for me, is very hard on my feet, which are troublesome. I was like, well, this might actually be something right up my alley, perfect for me, because I love hiking. I love being in the mountains. I love challenges. We all know I love a good Run Disney challenge weekend. So why not? And it just seemed like such an amazing and unique event. Now they have several mountains that they do this on throughout the year. So I think now they're up to 5 or 6 events. I don't actually know. I know they do one in Stratton, Vermont. They do one in Sun Valley, Idaho. They do one in Snow Basin, Utah. Is this it? Is Whistler the 4th one? This is new this year for them, having the event at Whistler. But they do, I think, a couple of weekends for each mountain or something like that. And I don't know what their game plan is moving forward, but that's what the scenario is this year. And I picked Whistler because I really have always wanted to come to this part of the world. I've always wanted to come to Canada, just period. But also specifically to see the Whistler area. I drove by Vancouver, which was cool to see. I might have to come back and explore that more at some point in the future. It's not really what this trip is about, but I don't know. It was just like such an intriguing idea to come to a place on my bucket list and do what they're calling an ultra endurance event. And I've been kind of hesitant to call it that because I'm like, you ride a gondola down, like how ultra is it? But it ends up being, I can't remember how many miles long it is. I'll have to type it in. It's like 30 some odd miles. And you have 36 hours to complete. Now, it's not a race. You don't have to complete. They follow your progress based on you summiting the tallest mountains of each continent based on elevations. So I'll show this all to you tomorrow. But there are people who don't finish. This is actually very challenging, and I've been training for it, but probably not enough, to be honest. But I'm gonna do it anyway. It's kind of like dopey. I was just like, I've never run a marathon. I've never run anything more than a half marathon. I didn't do any real targeted distance training for that, and I still did it relatively well, exceeded my expectations. The goal tomorrow is not to finish, not to summit. The goal is to finish whatever my climb is, wherever I end, without injuring myself. So that's what we're gonna do. So anyway, let me get back to the trajectory. I drove in, I got in right when they were serving lunch, so I got all checked in, my room wasn't ready, so they took my luggage, and I came into the event and I signed in. I got my wristband and all checked in, and they have the ballroom set up. I didn't take any footage of this because I was just, first of all, really nervous being in a situation like this where I don't know anybody, and it's a very social experience, and just very nervous. But after spending, you know, the past 6 hours with lots of people and getting to know the guys at my table and just, I feel much more comfortable now that I did 6 hours ago when I was freaking out. So I didn't film a lot, I'm so sorry. I took a few little clips. So basically we grabbed lunch, everybody sat down. It was unassigned seating. I just sat at a table and I just started nervously talking to somebody, and then the table filled out and I had great conversations with those fellows, and pretty soon after the lunch service ended, they went right into speakers. So they had the founders talking. They have very interesting personal stories. They come from all different backgrounds and just really motivational stuff. A lot of logistical speaking sessions about nutrition and gear and strategy, and but a lot of, empty the tank, leave it all out there, like just there's no failing as long as you give it your best. And they really emphasize that the goal is not to summit Everest in terms of like elevation. The goal is to give it your best and leave it all out there. So I really appreciated that, and it was a really fun night, and it just ended with dinner. I just got back to the room and here we are. So I don't know if you can tell, I'm a little scattered, I'm a little all over the place because I am excited. I'm much more excited than nervous, whereas much more nervous and excited when I first got here. But again, that for me was mostly due to this social part and like anxiety about the social parts. And I will talk about this at some point, I'm guessing, but that's kind of my own personal Everest and one of the big reasons I decided to push myself to sign up for this event. But we'll get back to that another time. I'm going to show you the room now because this is unlike their other mountains that they host these events on, where they have like glamping tents set up on property. I'm actually staying in the Fairmont, like with a hotel bed and a bathtub, and it's pretty swanky. So it's 3 nights here, but I don't know if my head will touch the pillow tomorrow night. We'll see. We'll talk about that tomorrow too. So you have 36 hours to complete, and whether or not you sleep, well, that's a personal decision. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But without further ado, let's do a little room tour, and then let's open this swag bag. I want to see what there is to see. I am quickly losing light, so I'll just really quickly show you the room. It's really lovely. Like I said, the Fairmont here. So just got back from all the events and speaking stuff, basically a whole day of like a conference-esque kind of thing. And they left some swag, which we'll take a look at in a minute. And obviously they turned down the bed, I'm guessing, because it looks literally turned down. But before the light leaves completely, I just wanted to show you the window. Sorry for the glare. Look at that. So beautiful. Lovely. I'm going to be looking at that all day tomorrow. Anyway, it's really very comfortable. I am extra excited about this. Can we turn this on? Like, does this like just hit a button and it turns on kind of thing? I think something's happening, but I'm not entirely certain. Oh, look at that. Lovely. Lovely. And I'm very excited to see that I have a bathtub. So I actually think I'm going to, I brought some bath stuff from home, some bath salts. Do they give me something? Oh, it's a loofah. Okay, well, still. I'm going to take a bath because I think that would be a really nice way to help me kind of wind down for the night. But here's the rest of the bathroom. It's very nice. Yours truly right there. And yeah, let's look at this fire. Let's sit down and chat for a second. Shall we sit by the fire for a little ambiance? Why not? By the way, I'm filming this all. I got a brand new GoPro and I'm kind of testing it out with this chip, how it works as a standalone vlogging camera. So please let me know what you think. We've got a swag bag with my name on it and the sizes and my bib number 179. So what have we got? We've got a hat. I typically look terrible in these sorts of hats because I have a teensy tiny head. Not too bad, not too bad. we've got bib. Let's see. Did I have the right Jen on it? I did, thank goodness. We got to choose what name they put on the bib, and I was hoping I'd remember to put Jen on it, and I did. So here you can see, so I will wear this tomorrow throughout the event, right? Throughout the actual climb of the event. And this has my bib number. It says Whistler on it because that's the event we are at. But then it also has, if you can see, the different peaks. So the first one that you would get to is I don't know how to pronounce that, so I'm not going to try it. And then Vincent, Elbrus, Kilimanjaro, Denali, and Everest is the top. And Colleen, who's the voice of the mountain, as they call her, marks this off for you as you go up each ascent. You also get to brand the board. We'll do all that together tomorrow because I plan on filming hopefully at least some of it. I'm hoping I'm in a shape where enough of a shape where I can film at least some of it. Let's see, what else did we get? I think we got a shirt. I'm guessing this is a shirt. Ooh, this is a nice shirt. Look at that. $29 or $29. I also bought some stuff because I didn't really think about that they were giving me swag. Oh, there's a letter from Mark, the CEO. Awesome. There is some, Salty Britches chafing ointment, which I did not bring with me. Any sort of chafing ointment, so I'm glad they provided some. This is the fuel they use on the mountain, this 1500 precision hydration, so we'll give that a go. 12-hour walk. Oh, this is, so Colin O'Brady is one of the founders, and he's actually the first man to walk solo, completely only human-powered across the continent of Antarctica. Just put that in perspective. This is his latest book, The 12-Hour Walk. So they gave us a copy of that. I think this is a sweatshirt. I'm gonna go with sweatshirt. Let's see, I just bought a sweatshirt. Maybe I shouldn't have bought a sweatshirt. Well, now I have two sweatshirts. It's fine. Here's the sweatshirt. Very nice. And we've got lip balm by Body Systems and another anti-chafe, Squirrel's Nut Butter. So that's the swag. I'm very excited about this. One of the things that happens is on your final ascent, I should say, they give you switch out to a red bib to signify your last climb. So anyway, that's what we've got going on here. It's 8 climbs tomorrow. Each climb is 3 miles and some amount. Again, I was just like too nervous to pay that close attention to the numbers, but I'm definitely gonna know tomorrow because I'm gonna be doing it, and I'm gonna take you along with me, like I said. I'm gonna try to get some rest, take a nice little bath, get my gear bag all set, and we'll just go over all the logistics and stuff tomorrow, I think. But I basically am packing what I think is like a week's worth of hiking clothes in one bag to change into in case I get wet, because apparently it's gonna be a very damp day, and they suggest bringing lots and lots and lots of gear. So that's what I'm gonna do now. But I'm excited to share this with you. I feel like this is gonna be one of those things that people are like, why are you doing this? But I'm hoping to show you through my journey what it's about, my experience with it, and why I'm here. So let's get some rest, and I will see you in the morning. Here, that's better light. Good morning, friends. It is 10 to 5. I am been awake for an hour. You know, you're really excited for something when you wake up 10 minutes before your 4 a.m. alarm. I jolted out of bed at 3:15. I was like, oh my God, that's the time. This feels very like Run Disney-esque kind of feeling. Like the morning of the Run Disney-esque, well, you're waking up at like 2 in the morning. That's a little different. But this kind of like really excited / nervous / excited feeling. Yeah, I slept 5 hours, best I could do. And we'll see, like I said, if I sleep today. I did find out that each ascent is 3.9 miles and 3,900 feet elevation gain. got a little nervous once I figured that out. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do that 8 times in a row? Okay. Just like me, not to really consider the, like, a whole extent of what I'm doing until I'm at the foot of the mountain or on the starting line. But anyway, I thought I'd show you my whole getup and we'll get going because I do want to eat something. I don't love eating when I'm this like jittery, and also I just don't usually eat right after I wake up, but it's a long day and I want to get something warm in my stomach, even if it's just a couple of bites, and I gotta be at the start line at 5:30. All right, so this is kind of the bottom layer, right? I've got one of my favorite icebreaker tops on. I've got a sports bra. I've got my favorite leggings from Lululemon or Wonder Trainers, and I just got new ones with pockets, so that's nice. And I've got my boots, my Ultras. I've decided to wear my 29 hat. Obviously, I have a tiny head and trucker hats don't really suit me, but I want to wear it anyway. What I'm bringing is gear check bag. I was going to bring maybe like a quarter of what's in there, and after the past week and all the coaching sessions yesterday, I'm bringing so many more things. I don't have time to show you all what's in there, but basically I have 4 or 5 backup outfits. I don't know, it's a lot. And then in here, this is my pack that I'm wearing. I have a rain cover for it and a headlamp and kind of standard things I like to bring. A bandana. I've got some electrolytes in there. There's lots of aid stations, but I'm particular. So I have my Noon with me. Did I put anything in here? No, I could put my headphones in there. I'm going to put my headphones in here. So I have my AirPods and a backup battery for my GoPro, my room key, some more electrolytes, those sample packets of that like ointment stuff. Where a bladder would go, I'm not bringing the bladder with me because it's just extra weight, and like I said, there's so many hydration stations. I have my rain gear, so I have my Arc'teryx rain jacket and pants in that one, and an extra Ziploc bag in case it's really wet. This is like the big thing that I really want to carry with me because I've heard it's very cold at the summit. So this is my Arc'teryx kind of mid-weight jacket there. And then I have hat, beanie hat, gloves, and ear warmers in there. And then I'm actually bringing one entire extra outfit with me, like from all the way from underwear to 2 layers, because I've heard the gear check tent is at the base of the mountain, and I've heard that you can get very cold and wet on the ascent, and then you want to change so you're warm and dry coming down the gondola when you're not moving. So this is why I have such a big bag. I can always, after the first ascent or second ascent, if I'm like, I don't need to be carrying all this, I can put stuff back in my bag at the base of the mountain. I just want to be prepared on the first run, especially because it's 43 degrees and supposed to be raining, so it's going to be 10 degrees cooler at the top. On the sides here, I've got my DJI Pocket Osmo, which I will film mostly during the day with. I'm going to bring this GoPro with me. And this one I have sunglasses, 2 kinds of chapsticks, and a sunglass cleaner that I also use to clean my lenses. And I have this whole new kit and caboodle here. I don't know if you can see, but the GoPro Hero 11 on the Volta base, which I don't have plugged in right now because I want to conserve power, but it adds extra juice to the battery and gives some controls on the side. And then it has I got the microphone. It's got like the special casing on it and the light for the night. Look at that. So bright. And the flashing. No, you didn't need that, did you? How do I turn you off? I'm nervous, can you tell? I have the rest of my layers I'll put on right now, and then I will get my bib on and we'll get out the door. Just in case you're wondering what the whole kit and caboodle looks like, I'm gonna put my jacket on right now, just to stay really warm before I head down, but you can see my bib and everything, and got my base and my mid layer on, and here we go. Why not? thought I'd show you the scene. Breakfast. Breakfast food. Yeah. There's the scene. There's other people who come to this by themselves, but somehow I'm still the only one. Awkward is doing it by yourself. This is my life. That is also part of my challenge. Is meeting people and trying to not avoid things because I'm nervous about people. So that's kind of a big reason why I chose this event, is because it's so social. And I fail at that miserably. So I'll try to be less awkward today. Probably won't succeed, but we'll try.
It's okay, you can still feel amazing today, life-changing today. What's on the other side of this event really is unbelievable. And this mountain behind me, man, it's not gonna climb itself for us. This one's up to us. What I love about today is it's not about you. Today's up to you. And all the elements are here for you guys to do something really that will go on your life resume forever. Something that you guys will remember forever. In 3, 2, 1,
My light's gonna blind you, but I'm just over a quarter of a mile in, actually a third of a mile in. Morning! And it's starting to thin out already. And we're heading into the trees, which I personally enjoy. Got a lot more miles to go. So at the summit in the lodge, they have a recovery room with recovery. There's nobody there right now, but it's that and the bathrooms. And I guess this is where lunch and dinner is, up here. Oh yeah, that's what's happening. Gondola. Get on. Not sure where we get on. Figure it out. Alright, here. Got this. Pretty sweet. First one down took me 2 hours and 8 minutes to climb the 3.9 miles and 3,900 feet of elevation gain. That kicked my butt. But I did it. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna do it again. 7 more times. It was much warmer than I anticipated at the base. In the trees, the air was very still. There was no breeze. I got very sweaty very fast. This is why they asked you to pack with a jacket, because I'm like cold now because I'm damp, but I don't really feel like changing it. I don't know if that's a mistake or not. I hope that's not like a famous last word thing, but hard. It's like there are no real breaks. There's maybe a handful of like 10 yards where it's not going up, and the rest is just like up, and it's hard. But I am very proud of myself, and I'm just gonna keep going. And my plan is to make sure that I am using the bathroom at least every summit. Preferably I'd be hydrating better and doing more than that, but I don't know. I haven't quite figured that out yet. And to eat at least one like meaty, not meat, but like a nice snack on the way up, and one at the top. And then I do want to hit lunch, and I do want to hit dinner. So, like I said, it's not a race. I don't have a time goal, but just trying to finish. But I don't even know if that's like what my finish is, if it's doing the whole 29,000 feet, which seems like a whole lot at this point, or if it's less than that. I'll still be proud of myself. Just doing that one ascent, the one ascent was hard. It was hard, and I'm like, wow, I did it. So let's go do it again. Okay, we're coming in, and I get to brand my first ascent on the board, which is super exciting.
Where are you? What? It goes by number.
Oh, Randa, nice job.
Wait in line.
Yeah.
All right.
Good job. Okay, only the red and the black. Don't touch the metal.
Okay.
And then just hold it. You don't have to press it. Just hold it again. That's it. Awesome. Yeah, right there. Perfect. Perfect. Wait about 5 to 10 seconds.
We're going for number 2. Are there people waving at us?
Something happened?
No. Just whenever you want. You got it. Hey! Woo!
Nice job.
We're very professional.
For number 1.
Like a win.
So bad.
Thank you. Oh, I'm real familiar.
Believe me.
Thank you. Okay. Here we go again. Why not? Because that was so much fun. So the bottom half mile is deceivingly mild. And then you just start going up and you never stop. They have all these like quotes and stuff along the trail, which are kind of fun. Yeah, they don't call it Heartburn Trail for nothing. Look at this. Heartburn Trail. Can't make this stuff up. Fog is coming in and it's so pretty. And I'm alone. But it's all good. I keep climbing. Holy moly. Finished left 2. Actually felt, if not the same, slightly easier. It's getting really damp right now. I'm going to show you, I've got a pretty sweet setup. So I climbed it in about the same time. I forgot to turn off my hiking tracker, and I started talking to the guy at the aid station at the top. But I think I finished in about 2 hours, 10 minutes, which is comparable to what I finished before. But wait do you see this? Hold on. Okay. I've got my coat on, obviously. I've got Mylar wrapped around my legs. I've got a cup of noodle in my hand and a bag of chips. I mean, come on. This is the lap of luxury. Here we go, number 3. Oh, doing good. Calves have started to bark at me a little bit, but hanging in there. It's getting colder, I think. I'm going to change at the top this time. Hopefully make it to lunch.
2 hours later.
3 in the bag. I'm so tired. Look at this hat. It's ridiculous on me. It's alright. Back on the gondola. 3 done. This one took me significantly longer, I got stung. Like halfway between the base and the first aid station, got stung by something on my upper inner right thigh. I'm like, I'm wearing tights, how the heck? I don't think I've been stung by anything since I was like 10. Wow, it's really cold with the window open. I wish we could close that. I guess that's not a possibility. Anyway, it's okay. Like, that didn't slow me down, but I stopped at the first aid station to talk to the medic about it just to make sure, 'cause I haven't been stung for so long. I'm not allergic. And it hurt like a mofo for like a second. And then it's just been kind of a little bit irritable off and on. But I stopped for a while to talk, and I used the bathroom to like look, because I had to, couldn't see with my pants on. Anyway, and then it's just, I think I'm just slowing down. So I think that took me, my watch stopped. At the base, I need to get my charger and charge it. But I think that one took me upwards of 2.5 hours. It could have been more like 2:25. I really don't know. But then I took a while at the summit there, and I got lunch to go because I knew I wanted to change, and I knew that would take me a long time considering how sopping wet everything is. That felt really good, but I don't know why I didn't pack pants. The pants are at the base. I have to go to the base anyway. I want to switch out some things in my pack and get the charger for my watch, and probably should charge my phone at some point, but still trucking. I can't believe it. Done like 10,000 some odd feet now of elevation. One more and I'll be halfway. I don't know what that means for me yet, but my goal is to just keep going. That's my only goal. Keep going till I can't go no more. But yeah, so I have this, here, I'll show you this. I've got some lettuce and brown rice and, where'd my fork go? It's under there. Some tofu and some sweet potato. I'm gonna eat that. Oh, doing good. It's just like, this is hard. Look at my legs. Oh, and it's wet out there, man. It is wet. Wish I got a miler at the top. I didn't think about that. So I'm just waiting for my watch to charge enough to get me up the mountain. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough juice, but I have a lighter weight charger with me now. I should have brought it the first time, but I didn't. I don't want to stand here too long. Anyway, this is the gear checks situation. They have it organized by bib number, which is helpful. There's people like changing and stuff, so I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but it's a sea of bags.
Hair still looks
Number 4, heading up. Got swapped out my wet old clothes for another set of dry clothes to have in my pack, and grabbed my charger. My watch is about to die. I probably won't make it all the way up the mountain, but I can charge it in the gondola on the way down. Oh my goodness. Number 4. These stairs. Oh, there's so many of them up the whole mountain. Oh my gosh. They're so steep. It really is beautiful. This is tough. Hi. This is the best part. Coming out of the trees to the clearing. Pretty close to the top now. It's another push, but I think the next time I do this is gonna be black night. You see there's snow? You see the snow over there? I don't know what altitude this is. I don't know what altitude we're at, but yo, I am beat. Oh. Not sure if I've shown the lodge part. I think they just put dinner out, so let's go have a look. What do you have here? What do you serve something?
I've got smoothies on this side, yeah.
Oh.
All my smoothies are just here as well.
Ooh.
Tree hugger is probably the most popular one.
Okay.
It's my favourite as well.
Hook me up.
Cool.
Thank you.
Protein.
There's the schedule where everything is. I'm getting a smoothie. secured a Mylar for this ride down, which was smart. I can't skip those for the next 4 gondola rides. Oh my god, it's 4 more after this. Okay, and I'm well fed. I got a cup of tea mainly just to hold because it's hot, but I'll probably sip a little bit. It's very hot. And I'm charging things. My watch died like a third of the way up the mountain, which is fine. Like, I don't really need it, but I do like to have it to check my heart rate. So there's that. I'm like, my voice sounds funny because I'm cold. I'm actually doing okay otherwise. My left knee is a tiny bit tweaky. I'm trying not to think about it too much. And that stupid bug bite only like flares up every once in a while. The sting, I mean. My nose are shut in this one. But look! Can we just appreciate? Oh my gosh, it's gonna be a very cold and clammy night, I think. But I don't really have a plan. I mean, I think my plan, which has been my plan all along, is just do one at a time. And if I make it up one, and I make it down, and I can keep moving, I'm just gonna keep moving. Because I was telling one of the people who was helping with serving dinner in the lounge, I'm like, I'm afraid. She's like, are you gonna go? And I'm like, well, I'm not sure. I'm just taking it one at a time, but I'm afraid if I go back to my room, I'll never come back on the mountain. And I'd like to give myself the opportunity to finish if it's available. Like I said, my body has to hang on for at least another 12 hours of this, because I'm 12 hours in. And I got at least that to go if I've slowed down considerably and I'm taking longer breaks. And I feel fine about that because it's keeping me going. My cardiovascular system is fine. My feet are achy. The knee is a little tweaky. It's just like a lot. 2.5 hours straight up. Oh, it's a lot. But I don't know, I'm still like midway up the mountain, I'm like not having the best time, but at the top, I'm like, I'm having the best time. So, I don't know. Anyway, this is like the gondola confessions. My whole video is just gonna be 8 gondola confessions. I really am sorry, I have not taken more footage. It's just in order to take footage, I have to put both of my poles in one hand. And I cannot express to you how much I need both poles in both hands for the entire ascent. Because my legs are just, I've been going up this mountain for 12 hours, like I'm tired. When I'm hiking, just for fun, on my trips and stuff, it's different because there's usually a down and then a done within like anywhere from like 3 to 7 hours. Nope. Keep reminding myself that I signed up for this. Okay. Gondola time.
Yes, you're here. I was like, you're there. All right.
There we go.
Perfect. All right, Jen. Halfway. That feels pretty good.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, you know what?
I buckled under the pressure.
It's okay. We'll fix it.
Yeah.
It still counts.
Okay.
Nice job.
I don't want to blind you, but I have my headlamp on. We're in the forest here, and they put the trail lights on. You can see, so I'm probably not going to be filming a ton more because I'm not carrying my GoPro with the light. It's just too heavy, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't have a plan. So we'll see what unfolds, but this is pretty magical. On Twilight Forest Walk. I also want to share, I don't know if you can really see it. There's like a pool right there with this like ski thing coming into it. It's for practicing ski jumps. And I saw somebody come down that and do like double flip into the pool earlier today. Really neat.
8 hours later.
Look at that morning light. Those are clouds hugging the mountains. I'm almost at the top. Yeah, look at this. How beautiful. My glove is in my mouth. So pretty. Okay, 7 out of 8. Here we go. Tell me this isn't a magic gondola ride. Oh my goodness. Magical. It's like a sea of clouds. So beautiful. Yeah, I don't even have words to tell you. This has been the hardest thing ever. Oh my gosh, it's just 4 miles of relentless uphill and roots and rocks and there's just no flat parts. But I've done 7. It's about 7, and I've done 7. I've been at this for 26 hours now, non-stop. I have taken a few longer breaks. When I wasn't chatting with you overnight, because it was just too hard to film in the dark, I did spend 15 minutes in those like compression booth things. You've seen these, like they fill with air. They definitely help my legs feel better for a little bit, but I got very claustrophobic in them. I don't like having things, like hot things or constricting things on my hands or feet. And they're like blow up boots that constrict your legs. So anyway, it was worth it, the discomfort for the effect that it provided, but I didn't do it again. I don't know if I will. I'm going down to the base to brand my 7th ascent and get my red. They give you a red bib when you're in your final ascent. And then they're serving breakfast down there. So I'm gonna go get, hopefully they have the oatmeal like they did yesterday, because I just want a little cup of oatmeal with some of that berry compote in it, if they still have that. And that'll be all I need to get me up this mountain. One more gosh darn time. But oh my god, I can't get to 7 and not do 8. It's like, you just can't. So I've gotten progressively slower and slower. So my first two base to summit times were around the 2 hour 10 minute mark, and then it's like 2 hours 25 minutes, 2 hours and a half minutes, 2 hours and 40 minutes, 3 hours, 3 hours and 15 minutes, 3 hours and 30 minutes, and then this last one was 3 hours and like 40 minutes. So I'm projecting I can get up the mountain in 4 hours based on that, but honestly, I have 11 hours until the cutoff. I would very much like to finish before then, because I would very much like to go soak in the bath, at the very least before the award ceremony dinner thing at 6:30 or whenever it is. But I know I have time and I can do it. We're going into the club. Anyway, I'm sorry I didn't film nearly as much of the trail during the day or even at night. And I know I'm not going to film my last ascent because I can't. I need all of my faculties to get up that hill. I'm literally dragging myself out of sheer determination. And my arms are sore and my core, because I've been using that so much to get me up the mountain. This is why we work on our core, friends. Core is very important for hiking or walking, even anything really. Anyway, I'm gonna go do this thing. I don't know if I'm gonna ask somebody to film it or not. I might just have somebody do it on my phone or something. But here we go. I'm so tired. I've been up since 4 o'clock yesterday morning. It's 7 o'clock. Oh my god. Don't think too hard about it. Okay, here we go. Homegirl has her red bib. We're heading up at 7:40 a.m. I'm gonna take a look. I'm hoping to finish by noon. But just finishing period, I will take. This is the scene for the last time.
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
my god, you guys, I have like no voice left. Oh, I don't want to spill my smoothie. I have a smoothie on the floor and a huge cup of tea. I finished! Yay! Let's see, I came in at 11:06 and I left at 7:40, so actually, is it 3.5 hours? Something like that. Is that right? I can't do 9, 8, 9, 10, 40. Yes! That was me calculating that. And I haven't slept in 30 something hours. And I've just totally exerted myself more than ever before. But, oh my gosh. The best time. I'm gonna do a full recap after I've had some time to rest. I gotta go down and brand my board now. And then they'll put me on a leaderboard. And, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Hold on, I gotta flip you around. There's these lakes and they're all different colors. I don't know if you can see this. That lake is like aquamarine blue. And that lake is like a sapphire blue. And that lake is like a navy blue. It's so beautiful. What a beautiful day. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm not sure if that was recording. I was just saying that I'm just heading down now. This is my last time on the gondola. And I'm just heading down to the base to brand the board for the last time. And I'll see if I can get somebody to film it for posterity. But I think I ought to do a recap when I've had some time to rest. My voice is like almost gone from all the exertion. And I'll give you a full recap. My lungs are shot. But I did it, and I'm so proud of myself. I'm so I can't even tell you how proud I am. I can't even tell you. That was hard. But we'll recap later. Just wanted to have one last gondola confessional for you here. Especially when it's so freaking digging beautiful. Let's focus on that. Oh my gosh. Can't even. It's so pretty. But yeah. I adjusted the hat a bit. It still is like way too big on me because it's a trucker hat. And I have a teeny tiny head. And it just ended up looking like it's super pinhead in them. But I don't care because this hat, I worked my tushy off for. Anyway. I'm like a little wheezy, so I'll talk to you.
Look at this little thing.
Suddenly forgot how to do this. Did I get it?
That's you. Keep it on though. Wiggle it around a little bit. That way you get.
Well, I did it really good the last time. What do you think?
I love it. I think, let's see. Oh, it was perfect. Perfect.
6 hours later.
At your first summit when you did your second ascent, that was Kosciuszko. Do you realize 99.57% of us who started met Kosciuszko? Kilimanjaro, remember what that was? That was a checkmark zone, number 5, right? It took a lot of work to get to number 5. But you got 3 check marks for it. You were sitting on Kilimanjaro over 19,000 feet then. 85.65% of you made Kilimanjaro. That's impressive. Aconcagua, South America, over 23,000 feet. 79.57% made Aconcagua. That was 6 ascents up the mountain. And Everest, everybody always wants to know, how did we do at Everest? Well, you guys did pretty well. 67.83% of those who came are going home with an Everest.
What you take away from this is the power of yourself, your inner strength, but ultimately the power of community, the power of finding like-minded individuals who believe that when we step outside of our comfort zone, when we push ourselves beyond our edges, that's where we grow. Like I said, those 1s and 10s, I imagine there might have been a couple 1s and 2s out there in the last 36 hours. But I hope that pendulum has swung all the way back as we sit in this room around like-minded peers in celebration of this moment Congratulations to all of you. It is an absolute joy and honor to be a part of this community with all of you. And I hope that you continue to lean into each other, myself included, as we continue to evolve and grow in the many years and months ahead. Thank you guys.
Because this is casual. I was like, oh, I'll sit by the fire. It'll be nice ambiance. Yes. I actually think this is really sweet because I want the room to be so warm. I usually like sleeping cold, but my body core temperature is still pretty on the low side from just being out on the mountain for that long. So I just went to the awards dinner, which I showed you a little bit of. I got my medal. I summited apparently this 29,029 feet is the elevation of Everest, but here at Whistler we did like 31,000 feet in total, so got a couple extra thousand just for good measure. So awesome. It was lovely to sit and chat with the people at the table today. I want to talk about a few things. I want to kind of wrap up my experience. I want to talk a little bit about what I was hoping for and what I got out of this experience. And contemplate if I would do it again. So I'm gonna take the hat off so you can see my face better, because again, big hat, little head. But when you get to the top of the mountain, and I think I actually did ask somebody to film this for me, but I don't know what I got from that footage. You get the hat, and the hat signifies that you summited. But then you also, you get a medal. You have your bib, your final ascent bib. Like, you have lots of markers that you completed the challenge. But what I really like about this, like I think the really cool parts of this event is that they celebrate each summit. So I think I told you that they mark on here, let me, hold on. Oh, it's so hard to move, my body is so sore. So on the back of the primary bib you wear before your final summit, they mark the 7 tallest peaks of each of the 7 continents, and they mark them as you go up, and they give medals, awards for each of those. So let's say you got to Elbrus, right, in terms of elevation gain, and that was all you had to give, and you couldn't do more than that, but you still get a medal for that achievement. And I love that. And I love that it's not a race. I love that they don't talk about who comes in first. It's not like a podium in that way. It's like everybody's on the podium. And I really like that about this event. So the hat is kind of fun because, it's a mark of pride, right? It's definitely like a pride thing. And I think that's really special too, that it's not just about medals. The events tonight was really, really lovely, and like I said, it was nice to chat with people. I finished at 11:06 a.m. this morning. I went straight from 6 a.m. yesterday to 11:06 a.m. today. It was probably closer to 6:06 by the time I crossed the start line yesterday, so what is that? That's 24 plus, you can watch me struggle to do math, 5. 29 hours I spent on the mountain, as they say here. 29 hours I spent. I had to forcibly drag myself up that mountain pretty much with each climb. The first 2 actually were easy breezy. I think I mentioned I finished them relatively quickly. I was pretty surprised with my pace. I didn't feel like I was blowing it out in the first, out of the gate or whatever, as they say. But then, and I didn't talk about this because I just didn't want it to become a big thing in my head, because I knew if I let it become like a big thing, I would not finish. I started to really fall behind my own pace. Again, it's not a race. It's not falling behind anybody else. And not because of my legs or any of that. It was actually my lungs. And I think it's just each loop yesterday was very damp. It was a very damp day where the mountain altitude here is about 6,000 feet at the summit. So we're not actually hiking up from the base to the summit. We're hiking up from like mid-mountain to the summit, if you think like 3,900 feet elevation each ascent. And even though I spent time training at altitude a little bit, coming from Chicago doing mostly sea level stuff, it's tough to do an altitude event that is as long as this was, without having that training. So I gotta figure that out if I'm gonna do this again, like how to really focus on altitude training a bit more, because my lungs just couldn't keep up. I think it was not that my lung capacity from what do they call it, like anaerobic exercise or anything, that's pretty good, like I have pretty good lung capacity there, but it was just the combination of the altitude and the air and the effort. And by midnight last night, I noticed I kept hearing this sound as it got later and later at night. There were less and less people climbing because some people went to bed and came back in the morning. I thought if I went to bed I wouldn't come back out, which is probably accurate considering how much in the hurt locker I was by the end of it all. But I kept hearing this sound like a little bird was following me, and I was like, what is this little sound? It's like pitch black in the middle of the night, and it was my own breath, and I was wheezing, and it took me like 3 hours to figure this out. I wasn't really thinking about it. I was like really in the zone trying to like get up the mountain. And with each ascent I had less and less and less lung capacity, and by the last one I had very little, and I was getting a little worried. And I actually happened upon one of the coaches, Coach Brent. He's actually is he considered the head coach? He's the one who's always on they have like I said, they have like a platform that's exclusive to participants where they do coaching and Zoom calls and all of this stuff. And so he's the guy who's usually on the calls for the most part. But I saw him on the mountain a lot today, and I talked to him about it, and he kind of just said, keep going, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. I was taking very small steps. I was, keep moving, but very slowly and very steadily. And when you start to recover, you'll feel better. And it didn't feel at the time like I would feel better. I felt like I couldn't breathe fully. I felt like, I don't have asthma, but I could imagine perhaps, I don't know if any of you do, that's what having asthma feels like. You just like can't take a full breath. And it gets scary when you can't breathe fully, especially when you're exerting yourself on that kind of incline at altitude in a damp mountain environment. But he was right, because it's 7-8 hours later, and I feel a lot better, and I can breathe normally again. I'm not wheezing anymore. The wheezing went away as soon as I basically as soon as I stopped climbing. But I still feel like a little tightness, and like I'm still at altitude obviously, but I need to be easy on my body, and I have had plans to do some physical things in the next few days, and I think what I need more than anything is to just not. But all that aside, I kept thinking those last few climbs, like 6 through 8, and this was from like the middle of the night through the morning, I kept thinking, I just gotta do it. I just gotta keep going. I just gotta keep going. And not to win, right? Not to get this summit, to show to myself that I can do this. Because I know I'm capable. I know I'm capable. And I'm the kind of person, if I set my mind to something, I'm dang well going to do it. If there's any shred of possibility that it's doable, I will do it. And I kept joking to people, because there was a lot of people passing me today, especially on my last ascent, and I had the red bib on. People are so great at this event. They're congratulating, oh, your last ascent, yay, congratulations, as they pass by. And like, oh, and I'm like, keep going. I gotta go really, really slow. I'm having trouble breathing. But they're just, everybody was so motivating, like, oh, you've got this, you can do it, one little step at a time. And the mantras that really got me through the evening, there were two. And they just, I mean, I don't know if there are other people's mantras, they just came to me. The first one that really settled in was, every step forward is one I leave behind me. So I kept saying that to myself as I trudged up the mountain all through the night. And the other one that really came to me this morning when I was really struggling to get through that last climb, and I am sorry, but the people who say that the last ascent is a gimme, no, there was nothing given about that last climb. I fought tooth and nail for that. I dragged my wheezing, sorry butt up that mountain out of sheer determination. It did not feel possible, but I made it happen. And if I can do that, I can do anything, and so can you. But the mantra that came to me during that climb was, you have to go up to go through, and you have to go through to go up. And I just think about how that applies to so much that of my journey, and I think, you know, anybody's journey, really. Anyway, those are my mantras. That was my experience. It was so exhilarating to go up the red carpet, and it's not really like a finish line per se, but to get my red hat, and the volunteers were great. The volunteers were so awesome. There were so many caring people who kept seeing me cycle through and remembered me and remembered my journey and were just so supportive. I mean, this is what, I'm like getting a little emotional about it, because this is what I signed up for. You know, I love a good hike, and you know, I like to push myself physically in challenges, but what stood out to me so much about this event was the community aspect, and just how close-knit and also open and loving these people are, everywhere from the participants to the volunteers to the coaches to the organizers. Like, everybody, of course my name's like all over all the things I was wearing all day, but everybody's just like so supportive and genuinely, like, not just like, oh, I'm here because this is what I'm doing. It's like, I don't know, it was a beautiful community experience, and I really pushed myself to do this because, you know, sorry, I'm like really tired. I slept for 2 hours this afternoon. That's all I've slept in the last like 36 hours. But coming here, I knew would be a challenge physically, but I also knew very well that the biggest challenge for me would be socially. And that's one of the big reasons I picked this event, because it is so social, to really push myself out of my comfort zone. It's almost like an intimate conference kind of mixed with an endurance event, where you really like chat with people and get to know them and hear their stories, and they remember your name, and they ask about your kids, and like, you know, it's just like that kind of vibe. And I don't excel at social stuff. I'm working on it, and I have been working on it, and anything I can do to really expand my comfort zone, it's tough for me to take myself to an event that's very social, much more so I would even say than Run Disney, which can be very social, but it's so big and it's not super organized in a social capacity. So I'm very solo usually when I'm at like Run Disney stuff. I mean, you know, I do get to hang out with some people sometimes, which is really, and I really treasure those moments, but mostly it's a very solo physical challenge for me, whereas this is very community, and I just really wanted to give myself that little push, and I'm so glad I did. I met so many amazing people, I heard so many amazing stories. Like I said, the volunteers, just like all of the interactions I've had. I'm sorry, I'm like really emotional and really tired. All the interactions I've had over the last 3 days have just been so amazingly warm and really, I want to say like reassuring about humanity and my ability to people, which I always question because I'm not the best at people. I tell myself I'm not good at peopling, but I think I'm cutting myself a little short when I say that. Anyway, I need to go to bed. I'm really tired. But I just delighted in delighted in sharing this experience with you. I would definitely come back. And I would strongly recommend you to check it out if it at all appeals to you. If there's any hint of curiosity there, just check out the website. I don't think they've released any information about future events, but they have a couple more for the remainder of the year, or maybe just one more. I can't exactly remember. The one in Vermont is coming up. I would definitely come again. And I wasn't sure about that on day one. I was like, would I come back? This is a lot. This is to walk solo into a room full of people who are all talking and chatting. And they don't all know each other, but it's still like that kind of vibe. That's really pushing my own personal boundaries. And I'm coming out on the other side. I'm like, thank God. Thank God I pushed myself to do this, because it really was a beautiful, expanding experience for me in a place where I personally struggle. So anyway, with that, I'm gonna stop crying and I'm gonna go to bed and enjoy this fire in my beautiful, big, puffy bed that I cannot wait to actually sleep a full night in. And I'm so glad that I got to share this with you, and I hope it was enjoyable for you to come along for this journey, and we've got many more. They won't be as social as this one, and I certainly didn't film people because I'm very, 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 very careful about that, but trust me when I say this was a peopling experience, and it was a beautiful one. So thank you for coming along for the journey, and I will see you next time. Take care.
Let's go.